Mocha Z and Kirsten G. Beautiful, strong queens, come and listen to 3. Peace and love comes naturally. Powerful, outspoken women listen happily.
You know what I just noticed too on the song? It says listen happily. Like, don't get no attitude.
Okay.
Don't be over there mean mugging. Listen happily to these 3 trees
with joy. Okay. The tree of queens. Okay.
I'm loving this intro.
Okay, for real. Right. You brought something out that I had not previously.
Right.
You know.
It's like a message in the message.
A message in the message. Of the message. Message.
Welcome. I'm going to try to talk from way back here.
Way back.
Every time I watch the playback, I am the loudest one. And it's like, Keisha, why, Keisha? But it's natural.
It's the power in your throat.
It's hereditary.
Your throat.
My throat got power.
It's the strength in your throat, you know.
My throat got
your throat got power. Yeah, I always say I got an amp too, so
I just feel like, Lord, and then I crack myself up, and y'all crack me up, and then I laugh.
It just be a lot going on.
It's never the same every time I start busting out laughing. It's just a lot. But I hope you guys are enjoying it, even though it can be loud. Just turn your volume down. Just a little.
Just a smidge.
And then you can enjoy it as much as we enjoy giving it to you. Mm-hmm. So listen, before we jump into something with Kirsten, I want to talk about the topic of today. So the topic of the day is start with you. And we know how people get at the beginning of the year and trying to refocus and sometimes rebranding depending on what you got going on. And you're just trying to find that niche for yourself to move forward in the new year. So we're going to spend a little time talking about what that really means and the context of starting with you. Because I'm sure some of y'all don't got it together. So we're going to try to help y'all.
Start with
you, boo-boo. Right. So think about it, because I wanted to hear your comments on what you think starting with you entails, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it later in the show. But first off, what's going on with Kirsten G?
Well, first of all, I want to say Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Merry New Year.
Are you forgetting something? What happened? Are you guys forgetting?
I know it's your birthday, girl.
Oh, that's a whole separate holiday. She said Happy New Year. That's a separate holiday. First of all,
let her
finish.
Happy New Year. Are y'all forgetting?
Okay, like that's a separate holiday. Okay.
Would you like to take over?
Okay. Go ahead. Go, girl. With your.
First of all, let me just start all over, guys.
Okay, start all over.
For everybody. Happy New Year. The beginning of the year.
Happy New Year.
And it's also one of the members' birthday. Can you guess who? Obviously.
Yeah. It's a whole separate holiday. After New Year's.
And actually, she celebrates all month. Her itinerary is sent out between November and December for us to know exactly what she's going to do.
We all anticipated around.
This year was slightly different because of COVID.
Yeah.
Like, I usually have a whole countdown, but because I have to have 10 or less people, couldn't really do a countdown, because usually when I start the countdown, people's like, what you doing? Yeah. So random people that I love and enjoy usually pop into some of my events, but I couldn't do that this year because I have to be very strategic and specific about who.
It's always a bit, though. It's sad. I look forward to your birthday more than my own. Because you always just have all kind of things. It's like, a Disneyland of options.
I know.
That you always do. So I look forward to what Keisha's going to do this year. And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, what I'm going to do on my birthday?
You've already maxed out.
Right, I'm maxed. I'm tired.
It's time to rest.
By February, I'm tired. I done got worn out.
I love it, though. I love, for the last, I guess, 20-some-odd years, 30-some-odd years, 20-some-odd years, I've loved planning my birthday month because I love picking things that I can include all of my different levels of friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know something that I'm going to choose something that at least this group of people are going to want to participate in, or that group of people. So I absolutely love it. But I was just telling a friend the other day, I'm getting drained, and I don't have any more ideas.
Getting drained?
Drained with trying to figure out ideas, like what to do. Like, I feel like I've done so much over the years. Like, now I'm almost repeating things.
Well, maybe now with the COVID, it'll give you different ways to be creative. So that'll be the new things that you can do.
I mean, I was slightly not really creative this time. I just limited the number of people that are participating. But I told them, listen, I'm going to start on my fives. Like when I turn 45, 50, I'm just going to let everybody else plan. So y'all got 2 years to figure out what we're going to do for my birthday month.
Okay.
When I turn 45.
That sounds exciting. Gonna plan my birthday this year.
Yeah.
I've actually never planned anything for my birthday. I've always just gone somewhere and that's it. Or I may just like, hey, you guys want to roll to a club or something? Like I've never been that type.
You do usually take a trip though.
Yeah, I do, but it's just like I'm gone. Like it wasn't like it was never like big and planned. I didn't like thoroughly put a list together or like anything like that. So that's something that's going on with Kirsten. The first time ever, I want to have a full birthday party, a full thing of activities is what I'm trying to get together. But like, it's really hard going into. It's like really.
I'll help you.
Okay, great.
But this COVID season is different.
It's not even about COVID. This is just difficult planning. Like I don't know. Like my Christmas tree is still up, guys. By the way, have not taken it down. A lot of people were like, "Hey, you should probably take it down." I was like, I really kind of just put it up.
Like I have to take it down. What did they say? Like 2 weeks after Christmas or something?
So I'll definitely take it down by next week. But planning a birthday or a birthday event, party, date, and you do a whole month. That's ridiculous. Right. And I'm trying to figure out like
I used to do that with her.
I mean, I think I did something, but I wasn't really like as stressed because it was more like, hey, you guys want to go out this weekend, and it would end up being a whole month of stuff. But Keisha has her stuff planned from January 7th through the 9th. We're gonna do all 20 of these activities. Then January 24th through 27th.
If you can make 13 of them, let me know.
Let me tell you, that is the hardest part of planning. After I figure out what I want to do, so after you figure out what you want to do, the hardest part is getting everybody to RSVP. It's getting everybody to let you know what they are going to do and what they're not going to do. Okay. Because that halts your planning. Okay. Until everybody tells you what they're going to do and not going to do, then you're kind of stuck in limbo space. Okay. But to me, that's always the hardest.
But you got some pretty good friends because everybody pretty much comes and shows up for you. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I
all
love
over the place.
Blessed by the people in my life.
I throw something y'all there, Robin. Yeah. That's pretty much it. There's no sense of throwing this whole big gala. No one's coming.
Well, my birthday's in March, and we're gonna get the planning. I started putting some ideas together what I want to do, but we'll see. I definitely want to take a trip somewhere. Don't know where.
Okay, so since we're talking about planning, I definitely will need your help on this. Okay. I'm actually gonna have a 2/22/22 birthday.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting.
Oh, that's super cute.
And if we are still living in the free world, I'd like to know.
I don't know. It's so iffy at this point.
You know, who knows? But the goal.
I plan to go to Mexico at the end of the month, and I'm like, well, that's in parentheses. Right. I might have to find a local option.
But tentatively.
Yeah.
Okay. But it seems like everybody's going to Mexico.
Because they're open.
And coming back.
So, no, I'm just playing.
No.
Tan.
But even in my trip to Mexico, I'm trying to be very COVID friendly. Like we're doing the Airbnb, we're going to try to, stay connected so that we're not as exposed.
Just stay outside. Everybody stay outside.
And have stuff to do. Vitamin D kills COVID.
We need to connect with the earth.
Is that what the CDC?
You need to breathe in
that
oxygen.
Vitamin C kills COVID.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
I mean,
vitamin D. Yeah, I meant y'all know I meant vitamin D.
I know,
but you still need vitamin C. But
you said vitamin D originally.
Yeah, vitamin D. You need to be outside in the sun to get it.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with Kristen. Planning my birthday.
Are you gonna make it virtual so the people can join you?
Oh yeah, that'd be cute. Cool. Yeah. We'll do a virtual birthday.
I charge, by the way, for all these different ideas and event planning. Not for
Keisha, please I'll link up with you and we'll get everything going and how much it's gonna be and.
No, I'm joking. I don't charge you guys, but I do charge you guys.
Yeah, this is gonna be very tough, but I'm trying all new things. It started all last year. Like everything was new, so
I have one big birthday idea that I want to try, but I just haven't done it yet.
Where is it?
It's all to dress in formal gowns.
Oh, that's super cute.
Yeah.
And
Like
I
a
have to go
prom.
see
You don't want to
Abigail.
do that in 22?
Oh my God, that is. I did
You
that when I
mentioned
was
that
a
some
kid.
years ago.
Yeah.
I think, did we try to do that? And then
Yeah,
something
and
happened?
then something happens every year that we try to do it.
Yeah, we
First of
tried
all,
to
that's
do
the place to do it, and it's awesome.
Awesome, right? But we
And
have to be like all.
you have to
like,
be top notch,
like
almost
we
with a
going to
fur.
the prom or something.
I feel like we were
going
like
to the
about to buy
wedding.
the tickets and everything.
We
Like
was-
that's how
yeah.
close we were.
We always get real close and then something happens. They
That's
try to
awesome.
keep me from
I love to do
asking. I
that
don't
too.
know.
That's
But
cute.
yeah, I think that's so cute.
I want
And
a
then
birthday
take our
party, but I
photo
want a
shoot, of
theme
course.
too. But I don't know what kind of theme I want.
We definitely know you want a theme.
It
Yeah,
has
you
to be a theme.
Something with Kirsten is always themed.
Theme.
If it's not a theme, it's like, why are we
Demolition,
here?
right?
Why are you
Not
here?
theme-alicious.
Just come up here just regular. Like, you need to have a theme for something.
Listen, I love participating in things, but I don't usually come up with them.
Oh, I have all the ideas.
Like they have theme days at work, and I love it. Like I'm gonna wear whatever they say.
I'll be like, mm-mm.
I think
don't
it's
know.
so fun, especially
I
like
wear a red
Christmas
shirt or something, but I
or
can
any
do
kind
all
of
that.
holiday. They want to have a theme. I'm like, yeah. And then we have one girl at work. She has her little May extravaganza, her little theme days. I'm all for it.
Aw,
Okay.
You're such a team player.
Sometimes, but thank you.
If it don't go with a pair of jeans, I'm not participating.
If I don't want to now, I ain't gonna do it. But most of the time, I'm okay. You can put anything with a pair of jeans.
Yeah, exactly. A shirt, a different color shirt to match the season, you know.
And this the same one that want to be
orange.
all formal for the Avenue.
That's specific. I know that part.
That's themed.
That's us, though. I ain't asking everybody to put on their gowns.
When you go to Avenelli, everybody's going to be definitely dressed, but this is like, okay, you guys went somewhere.
Yeah.
Now you're here.
Exactly. Like, we are here. We have arrived.
Baby, you know I love a scene.
Exactly. Girl.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
going to have to sit on the front row with that
Who's
kind of
here?
outfit.
We have to.
We're here. You can't be way up at
You
the
cannot
top.
be in the top looking down in your gown.
And we have to walk in just before the curtains open.
No looking down in your gown.
Yes, like, who are they?
Yeah, we got to walk in just before
They
the
were
curtains
cute, but
open.
where did they go? Oh, they're up there. None of that, though.
Where they just see us at intermission.
You guys are not members of the
Where you guys
Avenelli.
sitting? Y'all late. Show
You don't
up.
belong here.
Are y'all in the show?
Imposters. Yeah, no. So, yeah, that's going to definitely be it.
Yeah, I love making a scene, honey. Positively, of course.
Yes, I think that's my mantra for all year. Make
So-
it seem.
So you guys
Yes,
comment
I
below if
like
you guys
it.
have any ideas for KG's
Yes.
birthday
My
coming up in
birthday.
March. He wants to do something fun.
And different.
Yes.
In this COVID environment.
Maybe
Maybe,
it's free.
maybe we'll be done with COVID by March.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm
By
really,
March, we'll be a whole year in this thing, and this is so ridiculous.
I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna be real.
Be real.
I don't know if it's ever gonna end. I don't know. I feel like we're still in the testing
It's
phase.
always going to be.
Just
Yeah.
forever.
It's
and
all,
ever.
China has accepted it, and they've
Yeah.
always accepted it. It's just America.
We're just stuck over here
No.
trying to
no,
figure
no,
it
no.
all out.
Yeah, but like during the transit part of just going to China, they would always have the mask on.
They did because they started wearing the mask with the flu, the swine flu, or H1N1 back in those times.
Yes, and then they
That's
just
when they
kept it
started.
going, and we're just going around just like touching stuff and everything. So I don't know, but
This has definitely opened my eyes to things that we did pre-COVID that you never thought was just that disgusting.
This opened my eyes to the fact that it's a nasty mother
Yeah.
around here. You mean to tell me that
You
none of
never
y'all
wash your
had
hands?
tissue or no cleaning supplies at your house? You didn't have no bleach already
I
at
still
your house?
don't
They didn't
understand
have
the
enough.
whole thing of the tissue.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is y'all panicking?
Why did we buy
Who
so
y'all
much
have that
tissue?
Who
nasty?
whispered in somebody's ear about the tissue?
Like, is that corn?
You can clean your butt. You can eat it. Like you act like you can survive with it.
Oh
I
my
think-
God.
I don't know
it
why
was
we
a
were
tissue
buying all that
crazy.
tissue.
I
and
was
napkins.
not, so don't say me because I was not.
Okay, I was because I didn't know. I thought the world was ending in 30 days.
And
What was
tissue-
tissue going to
I don't know. I
Thank
just thought that
you.
was a supply. Maybe there was gonna be like breaking. If you got tissue, that was gonna be currency or something. 'Cause we ain't got no more money.
Two-ply. Got that two-ply. Hey, give me two squares. Give me
I
two
didn't-
squares of your
6
two-ply.
squares like what you eat. Like Tiki's to the music.
I don't know
And
what
that
I
man
was
would be the
thinking.
main
I don't
one.
know why.
In squares.
I can't go after 10 squares. That's just too much.
10 squares is too much.
That's expensive.
I ain't got but one roll left.
For real, and 10 squares of that just to go out?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And you
I had to use 2 to get it.
So where can you go?
They broke. They can't even use 10
Can't even
squares.
spare 10 squares.
I don't know where my mind was thinking.
And don't ask me to pay for you.
You want my
20 squares?
No.
That's gonna be 12 squares, girl.
And then they talking about, so I'll pay you back. When?
When?
Ain't none in the store.
When? Right.
No,
Don't
she's
let me
in the
get
store.
caught in the
Well,
bathroom.
you know,
and
during
you
that
owe me
time, like,
squares.
then it went to, we are jumping off a little off topic. We're gonna wrap
Right.
this up. But what I am trying to say is that, during COVID, then they was playing all the ending of the world movies. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I didn't
Y'all
fall into that
programming this
either.
in my
I'm
head.
forgetting.
So I
didn't
bought
watch
all
it
that
either.
tissue. Reason. I think I'm probably at my last row from COVID.
Oh, wow.
I bought that much.
Wow. I'm
Mm.
scared.
Yes.
Molly,
girl,
that's
that's
true.
true.
To the trap and watching all the movies.
I was stocked up.
I mean, I had my
I mean,
regular
it's just
supplies.
me,
It's
yeah.
just I said it was
It's
just
just
me.
me, so I had.
That's when I
tissue
came to
and
the
cleaning
realization. I was like, this is
supplies
too much. Like, I have no family
I
at
was like,
all
okay.
here in my home.
Oh, yeah.
and- Yeah.
It's literally just me. And I'm like,
Why you got all this subject?
Right.
why do I have all this
You could have
food?
sold some or helped somebody. You could have donated.
Yeah,
Right.
but then you didn't know if the world was going to end. Because they was
And
like,
you
you
was gonna
better-
die with your tissue.
I don't know. The lady in the store, the reason why I did it was a
Nobody
lady.
but God gonna separate me from this tissue.
It was a lady in the store. She was literally
Me
right
and my
behind me.
tissue never
I'm gonna wrap this up with finishing
No,
kissing. But
he died.
she was like, because I only had like, maybe the little best from in public. She was like, that's all you're gonna get? My husband works at the CDC. He said it's not gonna be good. So she
you
has
went
3
back and got
baskets
some-
full of stuff. I
He
was
was like, he do. You don't even know that lady.
I don't know
You
her.
don't know if he work at the
I didn't know
CDC.
Molly in the store.
He could be
Probably
sleeping
work
up
at
at the
Chevron.
CDC.
I don't know. She scared me too, so it was just not a good thing. But anyway, guys, I need you guys to help me out with planning my birthday in March. Leave below comments of things I can do during this COVID period because I don't know when it's gonna end.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to Random Facts with Zan.
We know she's gonna be having tissue for days.
You
Did
know
you know?
your butt will be safe
Yeah.
at her birthday party.
That is so funny.
That is hilarious. Damn.
You have, well, I would say you saved money, but you spent it all in the beginning.
Okay. Did you know that strawberries aren't really berries?
Yeah,
You did? I didn't.
did not know that.
it don't even look like a berry. It looks like a
Raspberries
strawberry.
or
What does a
blackberries.
berry look like?
According to botanists,
It's
true
like-
berries stem from one single ovary flower and have 2 or more seeds. So strawberries don't fit. Bananas, kiwis, and watermelons are more berries.
Oh,
Bananas don't have seeds in it.
Yes,
Real
they
bananas
do.
do.
In
Ooh,
the-
and
on
it
the
looks so
inside?
disgusting.
Listen,
Ooh, you don't want to
Wow.
see
you
it.
been
You
listen.
don't want to see it.
I did not know
It is
that.
disgusting, though.
You've been eating that processed food.
Yeah,
So
you
when
been eating
people
that
eat
fake-
strawberries,
fake
like, you know
banana.
that ain't no berry.
Mm-mm. You know that ain't no berry,
You
though.
know that ain't no berry.
Now, who's asking, I wonder if this is a berry to get my
Okay.
berry
Yeah.
shake.
Nobody.
Right, no.
Nobody.
So who started lying and saying it was a berry? That's
Somebody
I don't
Whoever
think nobody
created
said
the name.
that strawberry was a berry. They
It
just
just the
assumed
name
it
is
because
probably
it's
strawberry.
Yeah.
So why would they name it strawberry?
Because
Based
a
on the
guy named
color,
Barry invented it.
Probably that one. That sounds.
You
about
like that
right.
one better than
I
the
like that
color?
one. Yeah, that. No. Somehow I didn't hear that part.
Because of the color, they may call it strawberry.
it's
The
but
guy
I'm gonna go
named
with
Barry.
strawberry
The guy
sounds
named Barry straw hat all the
Yeah.
time. And it was like,
Yeah,
hey,
strawberry.
That's similar.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that
him.
ain't strawberry.
That's how
Strawberry.
I came up with it.
Okay.
Mm.
What do you think a flock of ravens is called?
Talking about birds?
Ravens, the birds. Yeah.
They have a different name?
A flock
A
of
flock of
ravens.
them.
Maybe the Hunger Games.
You know what?
I'm confused.
Go to
this point,
commercial.
I'm
Can
gonna
we go to
tiptoe-
commercial? Can we go to commercial?
At this point, I'm going to tiptoe out of here. Excuse me, say what?
It's called. They are called unkindness. Isn't isn't that weird?
The
Or
Hunger Games is way
conspiracy.
better than
I like the
Unkindness.
Hunger Games better.
Yeah, for real. Unkindness or conspiracy is a flock of ravens.
Is there
Like,
a
that's
reason
a
why?
conspiracy flying overhead.
Don't
Oh,
start that,
so
girl.
that means like if you do see them, you're like, oh, girl.
Well, first of all, if they're flying that high, how do you know that those are ravens? Because birds just look like birds. There's a flock of birds. I'm
All
not
birds
gonna say
don't look
there's
the
a
same, though.
conspiracy of
All birds
ravens.
ain't the same, though.
I agree, but I can't tell that.
You can't, but a bird watcher could.
Comment below
First of all, are you a bird watcher?
if you are a bird watcher and can tell the difference between a raven flying in the air.
Hey, the whole point is the whole gang of them mugs is
It's
a conspiracy or
You so
unkindness.
unkindness.
Okay.
Look at that group of unkindness.
I'm just like, there's so many ravens out here. They gonna be like, what? It's just a lot of unkindness.
Yeah.
It's just
All
much
around me. All y'all are just
around
being
me.
a bunch of ravens. Just unkind.
You know
Just
what? I like that
unkind.
phrase.
You can teach your kids that when you try to
Yeah.
teach them like not to say bad words. Just say it, they're being ravenous.
Yeah, just say, please stop being a raven.
Please stop
I
being
can't
a raven.
tolerate
Okay.
the raven.
Don't say they're being. Don't say they're being mean. Don't say they're being unkind. Just
And you're gonna have a bunch of little
stop
5-year-olds.
being raven.
Stop being a raven, George.
George.
Timmy's being a raven again.
Would you cut the raven out?
The next person that's a raven in here.
Has got to go. Gotta go now.
You gotta find yourself in timeout, buddy.
Buddy.
Why do we
Okay.
crack ourselves up? I don't even know if y'all laughing, but
Okay,
baby.
my last one. The letter Q doesn't appear in any statement.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's actually a really
I
good
don't
fact.
That's a really good one.
Oh, so what the other ones ain't good?
I mean,
Well,
this
I
is
know.
something that you can
It's
actually
funny.
talk about.
I kind of got no,
Taking them
I'm
back right
okay.
now.
I was like, wait a minute.
Little raven is
Wait a
over
minute.
there.
Y'all feel like y'all being ravens right now.
Shut up, buddy.
I'm not used to this raven behavior from you guys.
Shut up,
It's throwing
buddy.
me off.
You're going to time out.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's my
I
random
mean,
fact.
we just said that was a really good one because that's something that you can probably have a conversation, like a real conversation about.
Random facts. Did you know that Q does not appear in any state? 50 states.
I
Look it
feel
up.
like people will be talking about just state names and things like that before they're talking about strawberry not being a strawberry and a raven being unkind.
I don't know, Keisha.
Do you know who
what?
planted
You
the
always
first
try to figure out when
strawberry?
people talk about these things.
Why am I
I
laughing?
never. The only time I talk about these things is
Keisha, you don't never bring
bring
these
them up.
conversations
I don't.
up.
Right.
That's not true, then. Because how we even came up with random facts was then because we would all be talking about something and you would
And
just
you
blurt
would have
out
random facts.
some random
But it's
thing.
only you that knows the random facts. So, like, it's like nobody else
Well,
knows.
I share them.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's what makes it
It
random.
does.
We
Yeah.
anticipate
Because-
because each other like,
I mean, when you're having a conversation and then it's like my brain goes, ting, oh yeah.
And you gotta get
Did
that
you
thought
guys
out.
know? Hey, I just learned about that.
Did you know? The guy named Barry who invented the strawberries.
Strawberries, and they're not really berries.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, that's
Anyway,
my
guys.
random facts. Comment below if you knew any of these things. Yeah.
it's a brand new year and
I'm telling
people still
you.
don't know.
Comment below. They is being ravens to me today. I feel attacked. Okay, it's a whole conspiracy right here.
Because that's what a group of ravens is. I'm tickled.
Listen, you guys gotta get it together.
It's a whole conspiracy to my right. Okay, I'm feeling attacked by
It's a
these ravens.
setup.
Y'all help me.
So
y'all.
many ravens.
Too many ravens, y'all.
Okay.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I'm here. I'm here now. All right. So listen, let's jump into the topic of tonight. Start with you. So we had a little brief discussion about the topic last night, of course, because that's what we do. We always talk. But Kirsten,
We talk a lot.
we do. So Kirsten was saying, you know, that she's really focused on self-care and self-motivation and things of that nature to push her through 2021. And I was telling her that I totally agree because I'm a firm believer that everything starts with you. I feel like if you changing yourself, then everything around you will automatically change. I used to tell people all the time, like, you think, like, especially people with kids, because I don't have any, but I'm around them all the time. But I tell people all the time, your children know when you're upset, when you are discontent about something. So if you focus on you making yourself happy, then your kids will also be. So
it's hard to do.
Yeah, but from the outward, you know what I'm saying, looking in, you think that you're trying to do all of this and you're so stressed about what your kids have to go through and what they have to see, but they're really reflecting of what you are going through and what you have seen. So if you focus on you and get yourself in alignment with whatever God has for you, then I think that would be a reflection of your children. And not just your children, just people around you.
And I think, excuse me, I agree with that. I kind of learned it the hard way. Because when you do become a parent, your first thought is always your kids. And you feel so guilty when you're not thinking about your kids, because then you feel like, am I being a good parent if I'm not thinking about my kids? Like, and then it gets obsessive to where you go to the store and feel like you can't buy yourself a shirt unless you buy the kids a shirt. Be like, y'all got shirts. Can I get a shirt? You know?
My sister feels the same way. She hardly ever buys for herself.
Yeah, kids.
She always buys.
Hey, take care of yourself before you start having kids, because then you get lost. But yeah, I think that just holistically, people think that being taking care of themselves is being selfish. And I also think that most people, because most people be like, I'm just doing me, everybody will tell you they just doing them, but they really don't know what that is or what that looks like or what that means. They have no structure, no plan. Really, that means I'm not going to deal with you.
Right.
That's what that means. It had nothing to do with actually them building
and it sounded good for them.
Right, yeah. I'm just not gonna.
You're really not starting with you.
Exactly.
You really just blocking that, like putting that on to somebody else because you don't want to focus on you.
Exactly. Yeah, I've learned that the hard way, but definitely since I've turned inward and really started breaking things down, it's just been like freeing. Like I find myself just sitting there, just smiling or laughing, just because little things that happen, and I realize, like, dang, I thought about that differently, or dang, I didn't react, or and I can see the steps and stages of just growth.
Yeah,
it's.
Have you noticed a change in your environment too, like the people around you?
Now that part is hard because my perceptions for a lot of things are different now than they may have been when I met certain people or had certain relationships. So when we're talking about some of the certain things, I'm not all like in the conversation. I'll be like, ooh, like, because now I'm seeing the error in our conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the error in my support of it or my participation of it. I'm seeing the error in the thought process and all that. So now I'm thinking about it different, but then I'm trying not to seem like I'm being judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want nobody to think, oh, now you don't do it now, so now it's wrong because you don't do it.
But what's okay with saying that? I don't do it now.
What? It's nothing wrong with saying that. For me, I'm fine. Right. I'm just saying the other persons, for some people, you know what I'm saying? They don't take it as, dang, like you don't do that no more or whatever. They're not, everybody isn't that way. Some people be like, oh, so now when I do it,
different level of their progress. So they haven't got
exactly. And that's the hard part, I think, about when you start to really grow and work on yourself because you start to see some imbalance in terms of connections with the people that you have. For me, it was hard at first because I actually kind of got sad because I was thinking like, dang, am I gonna have to not be friends or not, with some of the people that I really, really care about? But as I just keep working through it, I just realized, no, it's more so compartmentalizing different things that I can do, can't, or won't do, or whatever, and knowing that we're all at different places in our growth, so I can still communicate or do certain things with certain people that won't compromise where I am currently, but also not, aid and abet the shenanigans anymore. So it's just a hard balance, but definitely
dealing with people on their level.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yep, I've done that for quite some time.
Yeah, and I had
I remember sometimes you telling me, cut them out, it's over with, this good,
I used to be like like that all the time. Cut everybody off.
And I'm like, well, I just won't deal with them like that. You know what I'm saying? I know I can't go down that road again. You know?
It used to be like, I used to be like, ooh.
She'd be like,
rage.
Nuh-uh.
But that's because I care so much. And it's like when somebody do you dirty or do somebody I know dirty, it just be like, it's a rap, like fire. Ooh,
I feel the same way.
I just be like,
I feel that way too. I feel like, definitely like.
I be like, okay, you ain't mad. I'm gonna be mad for you.
No, I just cut it off. I'm like, you know what, this is just not working for me. Obviously, I keep telling you that you are hurting me, and you are not respecting it. So, therefore, you've done this 3 times. I'm blocking you. You need to fill out an application if you'd like to be my friend.
Okay, reapply.
Reapply when
and
you
the
got
fees are. I mean, I did do a discount 1 month, but
you know what?
No, ma'am.
I'm just joking.
I know,
But
it's hilarious.
I wanted to go into like the reason for the whole purpose of the whole self-care for me was to really add structure in my business because I had too many outside things that were trying to take control of really where I was going. So like I can explain to somebody, yeah, I just started a business and this is what I'm doing. But just because you don't get it doesn't mean that I need to alter it for you. You are just not the right client for me. And what it is so one of my big sisters, she bought me the self-care book, right? And that's kind of why I want to talk about it today. It kind of is a really guided self-care book because I know sometimes we like make up stuff and we're like, oh, I'm going to journal every night. But then like, what are the steps after that? Or like, how do you go doing that? So like it starts off with, a love letter to yourself. Like, have you ever like, we think about so many things that are negative about ourselves, but we don't really go into say like, what is it that you really love about yourself? And I mean like really repeating it until like you are believing it and walking through it every day. So that started off as that, and then you have like your weekly stuff that you're doing. Like it's something for you to do.
It helps you to
every
be
day.
accountable for your actions and give you something
I
that
think
you can
that
look at.
This part of starting with you is what most people, I can say most people, but I know a lot of people are I'm gonna do me.
Yes.
And they think that's the same thing as starting with you. But for us, what we're saying is that the starting with you is really internal, outward. You know what I'm saying? Like working on you first, not disregarding what people on the outside have to say, but focusing more.
Yes,
on you,
on me. What this is.
I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years back, I did like a workshop.
Lovely. I was about to say it's lovely.
And that's basically what it talked about, and it just provided like several different exercises that you could do to kind of help you to just get centered and focused and really just put everybody else's perception of you behind you and really just be able to focus and break down things, not what everybody told you, not what everybody thinks about you, but actually what do you think about you?
Yeah.
What do you, and that's one thing, we talked about it, I know, on one of the shows, like me and my weight fluctuation from being skinny and all this, that, and third. And so I had moments in that where I was self-conscious. And then one day in all of my processes, I was just like, just look at yourself in the mirror. And I just took all my clothes off and I looked at myself in the mirror and I actually was like, oh, okay, like it ain't as bad as I thought it was. You do okay, girl. You all right. Turn around, let me see. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see you. And I took pictures and everything, and it taught me a lesson because a lot of what we perceive, and in one of my groups we talked about this, most of what we imagine doesn't even happen. What we're afraid of, what we think is the worst, it doesn't even happen. It's not even really realistically happening. People aren't really realistically saying these things about you or believing these things about. It's not really happening. It's happening in your mind.
Yes.
And you're projecting it on everybody else.
Yeah.
And you see
and you're creating
so
that
often.
environment. Yeah. So when I did that, and then I stood back and I realized, like, I never really looked at myself. So all this time I've been having this idea and thinking, oh, this, and I'll probably look like this, or I'll probably look, and I never really looked at myself. So I was imagining all these crazy things, and it just like slapped me in the face, like, you know what? I need to just focus and pay attention and just tunnel vision into what I truly believe and what I want to be. Like I told my son, he was going through some situation. He was just feeling real down on himself, and he made a statement in the conversation that he didn't like himself. And then I was like, well, you know what? Where I'm at now in my learning, change it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have the power. If you don't like something about yourself, change it. You don't have to suffer and just be like, oh, I really suck, or this is how I am a person, because everybody else thinks I'm this way too, so I might as well be this way. Because a lot of people do that.
Planting that seed in you.
Right,
you
exactly.
Feel like you're that person.
I think that's a lot of it too with making people wanting to start with you. Because you have so many people that have been around you that have planted different seeds in you. And so it creates doubt. We had a whole show about doubt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it creates doubt and it creates that perception. I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me or maybe it was the way I was raised. I don't know. But I've always been very confident in who I am. Even though I've had dermatitis, I had like skin issues. I took prednisone for most of my life for asthma, so I was always a thick girl in class. Like I had breasts, thighs, and butt before anybody.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, like I was in 5th grade, and everybody was like, "Dang, Keisha!"
This grown little girl that goes
right. They was like, "What?"
Johnson.
I mean, if I ain't still had ponytails and dressed like a child, I look like these grown kids running around here now. But I was still in ponytails, dressed like a child. But I mean, just from that aspect, I guess. I just owned that, you know what I'm saying, from a very young age. You know, I owned that. And I ain't gonna, like, of course, my mom was like the level mother. She never really, said anything bad about me. But I had people in my life, you know what I'm saying, that would jokingly be like, you don't need that, Keisha, don't eat that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That's too much, you know what I'm saying?
Mind your business, ain't nobody.
Right. And I never, even when I heard that, it just never really sunk in. You know what I'm saying? It never really sunk in. And it may be because I just allowed the love part of it to outweigh that part. And it may be just the Capricorn in me that thinks I'm the best at everything.
For me, I never thought about it. Being confident or not confident all my life. I just thought it was me. Like we had that conversation too. Like I didn't think I couldn't do nothing. I didn't think I was ugly. I didn't think I was cute.
Right.
It was me. And until I went into that marriage situation, is the first time that I ever started doubting myself or comparing myself to someone else's perception of me. Because I knew people always thought things about me, but it just never affected me. I never cared. But then, for whatever reason, his perception contrasted my perception.
And it made me care about it.
And it made me care about it. And I don't know if I necessarily, well, I guess I did get to a point to where I believed his, or maybe not even believed it, but just focused more on his perception than my own, But prior to that, I never cared. I never even had
people live there, though. Like, I've seen people, you know how you were, like if me and Kirsten's in a room and we're talking and somebody walks in, and we are talking, and it's just us, and we're just talking, and they automatically think that we're talking about them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people live in that world, you know what I'm saying?
A hit dog, a holler.
Right. But we were talking before you came in here.
Right.
So why would you think that I'm talking about, or if you're in an environment where somebody always thinks that if you're talking about something or someone that is them, like, that's that type of perception when you said, you live in that negativity that's around you. Like, people really live there.
Yeah. Yes, and I don't want to be around it anymore.
Yeah.
One thing I learned to do, and I love this skill, is to identify whose issue it is. Is that my issue or is that your issue? Okay, so you feel like whenever I'm X, Y, and Z, I make you feel whatever. Well, that's not technically my issue. That's your issue because you're making me feel that. That's not even a thought in my mind or my intention.
I was just about to say, it's all about the intent.
Exactly, right. So if, like you said, we're sitting over here talking and then you walk in and you're like, I always be talking about it. You be like,
first of all,
see that part
we're talking
is
about
your
a
issue.
Bible verse.
Right. We was over here
dinner.
praising the Lord while you're over here. But that's your issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's whatever it is that you're
and that's
going
not my
through.
problem.
So then I'm not going to sit here and feel bad like, dang, I don't want her to feel like, because then that turns on the other person that ain't even did that.
But that's the prime example of why you should start with you. Because if you feel like every time you walk in a room or every time you're in a certain environment that people people are talking about you, then you got to search within.
Right.
You got to figure out what it is about you that you are insecure about. You know what I'm saying? I think owning your flaws will help you to grow.
Be rabbit. Rabbit.
It will help you to grow. It will help you to grow. You know what I'm saying? It will really start with you.
I agree.
I think recognizing what your strengths, your weaknesses, because we all have them.
And then we all have flaws, being okay.
You guys,
one thing I would
the audience to see if they have any
comments. We in there, baby. We in there.
Well,
we just.
We all in there. We dive
Let's see what the audience is thinking today.
Make sure to comment below.
Self-care.
Start with you.
Start with you.
Yes.
Start with you means stop blaming somebody else about it.
And pause with us
literally
so
figure
that we
it
can
out.
listen to them.
Okay.
We do have one comment. Ensuring that you are taking care of self is extremely important. Happiness begins with self-care. It's not about being selfish. It is ensuring that your energy stays protected. Being centered is key to maintaining balance.
Yeah, I love it.
Is that a preacher? No,
Yeah.
I also want to piggyback on that too when we're talking about self-care. I know we always make it seem like it is us, but in the book it also talks about pay it forward too. So that's another way of actually doing your self-care, like paying for someone's coffee right behind you. That's like pay it forward. That's a part of something a step that you're going through. So it's not necessarily just like, boom, myself, that's it. I'm locking myself in and I'm working on me. It's other things like
I think as you start
others.
to grow and develop, you automatically start doing
it for others.
things.
Yeah.
It changes the definition. So, you know how some people always say it's okay to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? But you starting with you doesn't mean that you have to be selfish.
Yes.
Right? When you're paying it forward. It just means that you're more focused on you and your happiness. But it doesn't mean that I can't share that information or even just my happiness with other people. Hence why I be saying good morning sunshine.
Because people are really happy. And when you do become happy and you do start to heal and do those things, those actions and all that just become regular, like reflex. You know, because you're not consciously thinking about it. Because most of the time people think, I don't want to do that because if I do that, it ain't going to do nothing for me. You know, and it's all these other little thoughts.
Yeah.
But when you're not thinking about that because your mind is clear and all that.
And you're doing because you want to do. Like, it's all about
Exactly.
you. Like, we had this whole conversation at work today, which is crazy, about giving because you want to give and not to expect anything in return.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever I do for people or give to people, I'm giving because I want to. I'm not expecting. You know, my dad taught me a long time ago, if you give somebody money, don't expect it back. You better be ready to lose it. Even if people say, I'm going to pay you back. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. If you pay me back, great. If you don't, it's okay because I had it to give and I wanted to give, so I don't expect it back. Whether it's money, gifts, time, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You want to do that for you.
That's why I don't do anything that I don't want to do. So I don't have to feel like, ooh, if they didn't do this, then no. Everything that I want to do is because I genuinely want to do it. I'm compelled to do it, whether it's do your hair, whether it's
not attached to anybody else.
It's not attached. It's because I want to do it and I'm genuine. And so that's why being that type of person, it does hurt me when people aren't like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm assuming that you're the same way. And so if something happens and we get into a little spat, now it's like, oh, I did this for you and that for you. I'm like, really? Well, if you didn't want to, you know, you shouldn't have, and that goes back to your issue. Right? That part right there, that's your issue. Yeah. Because I didn't know.
You didn't start with you.
You didn't start with you. Okay, you started with me, and now it's my fault.
And now you want to blame me. I'm with you.
Right, exactly.
I think starting with you is really good, especially this book. I might need to get one. But I think starting with you is really good because I think 2020 really made people see themselves for who they really are.
Yes.
In different situations, because some people were like stuck at home and had nothing to do but think and process. So coming into 2021, people are hopefully more focused on you. You know what I'm saying?
I think people have more drive. It's really showed people what they can do. A lot of stuff that people thought, oh, well, I couldn't do this because of that.
Or time.
I didn't have
people
time
always,
because of this or that. And actually, they've been doing it. And whenever you're doing something that's purposeful and that you're designed to do, you get the reward. And the more you get the reward, the more inspired you are. So this reset into the new year, people is already starting to,
Yeah, I said,
so they like, yes, I can do it.
I
like,
said
yes,
maybe a week or two. It might have been about a month into COVID. But I was like, if you're not different on the other side of this, then God will not be pleased. Because so many times people pre-COVID was like, Lord, just give me the time. Right. Lord, just give me the money. Lord, just, you know what I'm saying? You asked for these things, and now here you are. You have it. Granted, it wasn't how you wanted it. You know what I'm saying? But you got this opportunity now. And so all those things that you prayed about, all those things that you wanted, you have the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's another reason why people are more focused in 2021. And I hope, at least since this is day 5?
Day 5.
I hope more people are focused and starting with you the real way.
Yes, the real way. And actually, I mean, just having, for me, I just lack the whole structure piece. Because I'm very free-spirited. Today I am this, tomorrow I'm this. Right. It's all over the place. And because I want to just go ahead and get into, the business, I need structure, and I need to be able to say that I'm working on this project, and this project. That's all I can take.
And that's
I'm not doing anything else.
That's part of what I've been doing.
Knowing you.
Compartmentalizing things. And like you said, the structure helps, because I realize with knowing how to do so many things, I mean, being kind of spread, it causes more anxiety. It causes more stress, because you're just like all over the place. So when I set everything down and map it out, then I have more structure. I have more direct purpose. I can say, okay, I'm doing this, boom, 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 I'm doing that. And then I can, put little
tweaks and stuff like
as
that.
Opposed to just feeling like I'm just scrambling all over the place. Like, that drives me crazy.
I wish we could continue this.
I was just about to say, this is so good. I think we might have to double back next Tuesday. And kind of jump back in there. I mean, maybe we can spend January just talking about different things.
And you guys,
different
you know
parts
what?
of self-care.
Exactly.
Keep commenting. We're going to reply back.
And also on Thursday, when we do the replay, you can definitely join in the conversation as well.
Yes, for sure.
And next Tuesday, we'll jump back in, and Kirsten's going to bring her book.
Yes,
I'll
bring your book.
Yeah,
I'll
you can
actually bring it, and
in
we can kind of go through it, and, you guys can take some stuff and figure out,
comment and everything.
How you can implement this in your life.
Yes. It's going to be important if you really want to be different in 2021. So Mocha says, starting with you does not mean blaming others.
Right.
Starting with you means to internalize your flaws, your strengths, your weaknesses, and focusing on you without being selfish. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.